Hello and welcome back to Of Land and Leaf. Today I am finally planting out my Aldi raised bed. I have some seedlings that are going in, some tomato seedlings that are going in early, and some other things that I'm direct sowing, and just happy to finally be putting some things in my spring/summer garden. So I'm just inviting you along with me. This is not a video for educational purposes. I am learning. This is probably my fourth year gardening, but totally different experience. I started off with a couple pots on my porch and then moved to a raised bed in a community garden, and now I have a 20 by 20 plot also in a community garden. So each time it's been an experience, it's been a learning curve, and I'm challenging myself this year starting in July, maybe June, we'll see, but to eat something from my garden every day. So in order to do that, I got to start planting so that I can harvest. And so today we're going to do my tomato raised bed. It's going to be my kind of like my salad bed, but it's going to be tomato and herbs. A little bit about this tomato. I have no idea what it is technically. I was walking in Kroger, and I wasn't in the organic section, just walking in Kroger. I saw this big, beautiful tomato. They said it was an heirloom tomato. It was huge, it was beautiful, like so pretty I didn't even want to cut it. Brought it home to make a couple BLTs, and then when I was done with it, I decided to slice it in 3 slices and put it in my Dollar Tree, the 3-pot planter. And it sprouted, it germinated. I got some tomatoes. Again, like, people were telling me that's not the way to do it. You got to dry it out first. You got to rinse it. I didn't do any of that. I literally sliced it and put it in dirt and put it in the tier. And now I'm going to break more rules because I am transplanting it into this bed, and it does not have its true leaves. It's not mature. It's not big, but I'm ready to get everything out of the house. I really don't have the space for it. So I'm just going to do a couple things and invite you to watch me, and feel free to make a comment. Tell me how you would do it differently, or share your experiences with growing in raised beds. This is my first raised bed like this, so I'm excited to learn. Before I start planning out the bed, I brought these seed trays from home. They've been sitting in my garage, and I actually want to use them. So even though it's late and most of the things that I'll be doing will be direct sown, I am going to start a couple of things in the seed tray. So I'm just going to put them over here so that I'm not losing dirt, not losing soil to plant those things. Then when I get that out the way, I'll put them in the greenhouse now that I have a greenhouse, and I will actually start planting the bed out. Okay, these trays were $4.99, so $5 for the set. You get 4 of the trays, 4 bottoms, and 4 tops for $5. So today I'm going to plant out, I'm going to seed Zulu peppers, these Buena Mulata peppers, and Roma tomatoes. That's the plan for today. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on those. I'm using my Baker Creek seeds. And I don't need a whole lot. But I'm gonna plant 4. I may not even use all 4, but that's the plan. So we'll get a little hole. Drop that in there. I think my hand covered it up, but I just use that. Just drop it in. Drop it in. Cover that up, and then we'll do the same. And I'm just making like a little tiny hole. I'm not going really deep. This is what this pepper is supposed to look like. While I was recording, someone came over here and asked me if I was recording. He was like, I see you everywhere, which is really cool because I'm really just starting. So I'm glad to see that I am being seen. All right, so we're gonna put one in each hole. And I'm not measuring, I don't know like how far down, just following my intuition. And then I'll learn, right? Skip this row, and then I'm gonna do my Roma tomatoes. I gotta grab those. Now the Roma, I'm just using the 4 for $1 Dollar Tree seeds for the Roma, nothing fancy. Let's see if I can get them out. Okay. So far, my Dollar Tree seeds have been germinating really well. So I'm not gonna overdo it, but I am gonna put 2 in each space. This one is only gonna get 1 because that's all I have in my hand. Like, that is literally how I do it. And then I will water this down and put them in the greenhouse. And this is what the tray looks like. So in the community garden, we have these shared hoses. So I'm just walking this over here and I'm gonna put some water underneath it. And that'll be what they drink off of until I get back. I'm gonna top water a little bit as well. But this is what I'm sitting on, my little Home Depot bucket. But look, we make it happen. So this will go right here. This will go in here, like that. And then I'll water a little bit up top and then put the top on it before it goes into the greenhouse. Now notice this, when I got these, they didn't have holes in them. I don't know if you remember that video, but they didn't have holes. So I tried to put holes with the screwdriver and I messed this tray up really bad. And some of the other ones got a little mangled as well, but not as bad as that one. So I learned a lesson. Always, if you're gonna use a screwdriver, go inside and not down that way. But it's fine. For $5, I'm gonna get my use out of that. Okay, so I'm taking this tomato out. Again, it's not technically ready, so I don't know how well it's gonna do, but we're just gonna have to see. And I'm not gonna bother the roots at all. It's still in this little chunk right here, so I'm literally just gonna put it in here like this, in the earth that it's already been in. But I'm gonna bury it a little bit further down, and you'll see this. You can't see it right now, but I'm gonna bury it a little bit further down so that it's pretty sturdy in there. And again, I have more of these at home, so if this doesn't work, we have a plan B, but I'll show you the other side. We're gonna do the same thing. Make our little hole. I'm putting both of these in here. I'll thin later if I need to. I don't know how, many are gonna survive. And then I'm covering up like that, all the way up. Then what I'm gonna do is take my Dollar Tree garden domes and cover both of these because they're really not ready to be out here. So I'm gonna cover both of those like that and put some little stakes in them so that they can stay down. Now I have some herbs. I know I said I was gonna plant everything from seed this year, and primarily I am. I'm still proud of myself. But I found these herbs for $1.99 each at, I don't know if it's pronounced Lidl. It's new to me. It's like an Aldi. And I'm all about the discount. So instead of trying to wait until I could get some time, I went ahead and purchased 2 of these. I also purchased 1 oregano, and they're gonna go in this bed as well. So I'm gonna put the thyme pretty close to the tomato. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. What I like about this is that it came in these pots that I can just plant because they will break down on their own. So I'm gonna get 1 right there. And I'm actually gonna come in and put a little more soil in here. So I'm not gonna bury it too deep. I'll just put it like deep enough that it won't fall. And then we're gonna put a little more soil in there, but it's already like, it's good. And we're gonna do 1 on the other side as well. Same spot. This bok choy is not gonna stay there. It's coming in the middle. It's gonna be right there in the middle. So let's go ahead and get this. Again, just a little space for it. I need a little more soil. But for now, just so I can hold it space, it'll be right there. Now we're going to plant out this bok choy, which I've never planted out before. And just kind of break that up a little bit and put it in the soil. Keep some of the soil that it's been growing in. All right, and the rest of it just becomes a part of the garden. I'm gonna put a little bit. I want it to look nice. So I like things to be fairly symmetrical. If you can't tell that about me. So I'm gonna put this right about there. Break up that root ball just a little bit. Put that in there. Right. Good. Now we have 2 seed trays too that we can use in the future. But this is what this is looking like so far. Now what's going to happen, so I have 2 of these, but I'm going to put lettuce, that Baker's Creek lettuce, I'm direct sowing that right in here. And I'm going to cover it with a dome until it grows. This was that free seed that I got from Baker Creek. When you order 3 heirlooms, you get a free seed. And this says to to sow in thick bands for baby greens, or space further apart for head lettuce. So it needs a little bit of shade. I am going to, I don't know, I'm learning. So I'm probably going to sow it further apart for head lettuce so that it can grow in this space. I might do a combination. Listen, I'm about to open this pack and see what happens. And sometimes plans have to change. You know what? I'm just gonna go like this. This is like full sun. So I'm not sure how well this is gonna do right here. I'm gonna put a little bit on the back of my strawberry tower too, just in case this doesn't do very well right here. Oh, these seeds are tiny too. And my plan for covering with the dome probably is not going to work now the way I spaced these out. So let's just cover it a little bit. And we'll see how they come up. And we'll go from there. I have that space right there. I don't know. I think I'm going to stop. We'll stop. We'll put the rest of them in the strawberry tower. Next, I have my Dollar Tree bush beans. They're going to go all around the back of this raised bed. I want to get bush beans all around the back, and they're spaced about 3 inches apart. So that's what I'm going to do, just as many as I can get in 3 inches. This is a nice size bean, so I'm just gonna drop it in there, guesstimate what 3 inches looks like. I'll just do it. Oops, I think I dropped 2 in there. It's fine. We'll come back out and do what we need to do later. Put another one right there on this side, right? Put another one right here. That was 2. Another one right here. And so then that's gonna leave me 1, 2. So I'll put 1 right there and 1 right there. Okay, and I'm just gonna cover this up. It's so dry out here, you would not be able to tell that I was just out here watering. That's the one thing I don't like about raised beds. Okay, so we have bush beans all along the back. So we have our bush beans, our bok choy, here, our tomatoes in the domes, our thyme up front. I have a little lettuce right here. And that's where I'm gonna stop the bed for now so that I can get my cucumbers planted in containers. The sun is trying to go down on me. That's the thing about working all day and then coming out to the garden. So I'm just gonna do a quick before and after. I'm gonna show you, this is the pot that the cucumbers are going in. I'm gonna do bush beans and cucumbers on this side, and probably just bush beans on this side. I may put something else in it later. I'm growing these straight 8 cucumbers from Dollar Tree. You see it's open, and that's because I tried these last year and I did not do well. I tried to use the Three Sisters method and I just didn't have enough airflow for my cucumbers. So this time they're pretty much going to be on their own. I'm trellising them. I didn't trellis them last time because I wanted them to be ground cover, because that's the way that method goes. But this time I'm going to go ahead and put them in here and trellis them. So cucumbers are in, plenty of room for my bush beans to also go in here. And as I'm planting the bush beans, I'm realizing that I really should have put some fertilizer in there with the tomatoes, but they're still so young that I think it'll be okay if I give them a little bit of time to be established in the domes and then come back and fertilize, because I don't like to fertilize seeds, right? It has black cow in there, but I like my fish emulsion, and I'm not going to put that in until things get a little more established. I have some pellets. I'll probably go in and just drop some of that in there. I'll lift the dome up and put some of that down in there. I really did well with this. Between this and my fish emulsion last year, I did really good. So I'm gonna just put a little bit of this food in there with the tomatoes. Sometimes it's hard to get things done here because everyone stops and they, ask questions and talk to you, and I absolutely love that. So, okay, so I'm lifting this up, and I'm just gonna kind of like go down in here and drop some pellets. That is not the way it's supposed to be done. Not the way it's supposed to be done. Like, I didn't read the instructions, so I don't know how it's supposed to be done, but I know it's not this. I know it's not that. All right. Some water get in there, it'll be good. I just feel like these plants were growing in the wild before we decided to start making gardens, and they were doing just fine. So I'm just not going to do all of the things. And then the last thing that I'm planting out today is going in here with my comfrey that I'm just sure is going to grow back, even though it really died bad when I cut it. I think it's coming back, so I'm gonna give it a little something pretty to look at. I bought some flower bulbs, so that counts as seed to me, and I'm gonna put that in here with some little cheap potting soil that I got from Dollar Tree, and just see what happens with this little spot right here. These are what I purchased. I purchased these from Lidl, somebody tell me how to pronounce it as well. The instructions say to bury this 8 inches deep, but it doesn't say how far apart. This is what they look like. I'm gonna put all 3 in here. And if I need to move something later, I will. If I learn that doesn't work, I've learned. But I'm just going to drop these in here. I don't know if there's a certain direction they're supposed to go. Gut is telling me that. Gut could be completely wrong, because Gut has never done this before. But we'll do that. We'll do another one like that. And we'll do a third right here. Then we'll put a little more soil over it, and they look like little acorns, and see if they grow in with this. Here's a little cheap Dollar Tree potting soil. Now I would never, I don't even know why I'm admitting it to you that I'm using this little cheap Dollar Tree potting soil, but this actually has been amended a bit. I just feel like just to cover it up, it's not a big deal. So, lightly. Not planting out these watermelon, but this was a trick that I learned a little too late. I wish I had learned it early in the winter. But these are watermelon that I grew from seed outside on my deck. They look really good, but I'm not ready to put them in yet. So they're going in the greenhouse. I got a greenhouse. I got a greenhouse. All these seeds I'm going to pick up and take with me. I just realized I have not had my gloves on. Sorry, Mommy. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. Last thing I'm going to do before I water is just put a couple of lettuce seeds on the back of the strawberry tower. And I'm just gonna use those Baker Creek seeds, put them on the back because the back doesn't get as much sun. And I'm just gonna drop one in each. So I should have 3 heads if it works out okay. Actually, the last thing that I did was scoop up the dirt out of this side of the 3-tier pot and just lay this this oregano here. It needs full sun. This space gets a lot of sun. So I just found a little place for it to break down. I'll put a little bit more soil around it, and then I'm just gonna water it in real good and let this oregano grow over here with my strawberries, spinach, and hopefully we'll get some more stuff to pop this out. Now, before I forget, I'm gonna sit down and write in my journal everything that I planted and where, so that I have a record. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be here tomorrow. I have to work really late. So I've planted, and it's really important that I water in really good. So I'm going to give the raised bed a really deep watering, and then I'm going to water the rest of the garden. Thanks for planting with me. Until next time, happy gardening.